Hello everyone. So today we will be solving inverse coin change problem, the problem B of weekly contest. So what is the problem saying? You are given an one indexed integer array numWays, where numWays of I represent the number of ways to select total amount I using an infinite supply of some fixed coin denomination. Each denomination is a positive integer with value at most numWays.length. However, the exact coin denomination has been lost, and your task is to recover the set of denominations that could have resulted in the given numWays array. Return a sorted array containing unique integers, which represents this set of denominations. If no such exist, then return an empty array. So what is the problem saying? The problem is saying you are given a numWays, right? Let's say this, and in this it is saying you are starting from index 1, means this is the first index, this is the second index, right? So it is saying the number of ways to make a 1 is 0. Now before diving deep in the problem, try to understand this. If this would have been a simple coin change problem, the basic BP coin change problem, right, then you could have solved it. If you had, let's say if I had said that what these are the coins, and now you need to tell how many maximum coins, how many coins you can, how many ways there are to make a amount I, right? Then it would have been a simple DP problem. But here you have the number of ways to have the value, the amount, but you don't have the coins which you have. So it is a reverse DP problem, right? But if you hold with me now for like 5-10 minutes, I will definitely make sure that to make you understand how this is a simple DP problem, that same coin change problem only, but a little twisted part, right? So let's just focus for it for, let's say, 10 minutes. You will get the intuition. Only in 5 minutes I think you will understand what we are doing and how will it result in that, right? So let's say I was given numWays, right, and it is clearly mentioned that number of ways to make a 1 is 0. So that means number of ways to make a 1 is 0. That means there is no one coin of denomination 1, right? There is no coin of denomination 1, right? Okay, so there is no coin of denomination 1 rupees. Let me call this as rupees, right? So there is no coin of rupees 1, 0. So next is, if you had number of ways to make 2 is 1. So if you want to make 2 rupees, there is a single one way, right? What can be that way? That could have been 1 plus 1, or that could have been a single 2 rupees coin, right? But as we have found earlier, that 1 rupee coin was absent, so this case nullifies, right? So you can get value that 2 is the only way that you can get a coin of total value of 2, right? Now 3 is also 0. There are no ways to make 3. 4, there are 2 ways to make 4, right? Rupees 4, let's say. So till now, see what we will be doing, I will tell you just now. I will make you understand that. But from now you can say that, okay, I had 2 rupees coin for sure, right? Now let's say I had a 4, right, and it says we had 2 ways to make a 4, right? So what could be the 2 ways? I can use 2, I had 2 rupee coins, so I can find it, I can make it by 2 plus 2. Is there any other way I can make? No, because there is no 1 rupees coin, there is no 3 rupees coin, right? So only way to make it is a 4, right? So this is the way. See, by this way we will find which coins do we have, right? How we are finding? Let's say for the first, this is a basic first problem. I have written the example over there. I guess that's not needed right now. From the given nums, if we have a 1 rupee coin, right, what we input, let's say I had a 1 rupee coin, right? Rupees 1 coin, I had 1, right? So if rupees 2, for rupees 2, if the answer is, let's say, 2, what does this mean? That okay, I can use 1 and I can make 2, use 2. Only that is the way. So this will make me sure that 2 rupees coin was also existing. right? Or it could have been that rupees 2 was 1. That means 1, and if 1 was present, right? So 1 and 1, and there was no 2 rupees coin, so this is the only possible way. What if there would have given 0, right? Bhai, if I can make rupees 1, couldn't I make rupees 2? And that's impossible, right? So that means if something like this even like this, right, occur, we will simply return an empty array. What does this empty array represent? That bro, whatever the information you are giving, that is wrong. भाई अगर मेरे पास 1 रुपीज़ का कॉइन पड़ा है, राइट, तो और मेरे को 2 रुपीज़ बनाना है, राइट, तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि भाई कोई 0 वेज है भाई 2 रुपीज़ कॉइन बना, भाई ये तो झूठ हुआ ना, बिकॉज आई ऑलरेडी हैड 1 रुपीज़ कॉइन, सो आई कैन यूज़ दैट 2 times to make a 2 rupees coin. So if they are doing this, that means bhai that denomination doesn't exist, you should simply return a empty vector, right? So I guess this part will, okay, you will say, okay, that means I have to simply traverse on this and count, but how will I find the number of ways? Now there comes the DP coin change problem, right? Let's say you had a coin of denomination 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2 will make it easier, that's why I'm taking it, not 1 and 2, let's take 2 and why is this mouse getting stuck? Let's take 2 and let's take 4, right? So, and let our denomination be 6, right? So now DP knapsack problem, what does it say? You can either pick up 2 or you can skip 2, right? If you pick 2, your sum becomes 2. If you skip 2, your sum is 0 and you move to the next index. Now for this 2, you can again pick 2, right, and it becomes 4, or you can leave it, right? Again you can pick 2, right, and it would become 6, right? And as soon as you reach your denomination, you say their number of ways to take this coin increases by 1. This was the way to reach the coin. Similarly, if you had picked 2 and for any given time, if you had picked up a 4 as well, so it would also result in the same array, giving a sum of 6. So this will also return a 1, and ultimately the sum would have been 2. I guess you know this DP, right? If you don't know, then I think I should make you understand that as well. For those who know this part, that how this DP is working, I guess you can skip to the part for where I will make dry run of this code, or that part I will explain the example clearly, right? Let's say 2 and 3, right, and let's take a sum of 6, right? So what are we doing? We are picking this coin. If we see, every index has 2 options, either you can pick or you can't pick, right? So if you pick this coin, what is your sum? Your sum becomes 2. If you don't pick, it becomes 0 and goes to the next index, right? Again on 2 you can, and if you pick up that coin, you remain on that index. If you pick now, you will remain on that index, right? Again picking 2, it will result in 4, right? And if you don't pick, sum is 2 and you go on the next index, right? Why is this mouse getting stuck? You go on the next index, right? Okay, so by this way we are creating a recursive call for all elements, and if my sum, right, if the sum which we are having is equal to the target, right, we simply return a 1, return 1. Why 1? Because that means this is the way to reach the target, right? Okay, so this will be our way. See, for rupees 1 we can easily find, but is computable, right? For rupees 2 or onwards, we will simply use the concept which we have talked earlier, right? What is the concept? Let's say 1, not this test case, let me take this test case, right? Let me paste it over here, right? So what are we saying is, this says, okay, you have a coin of rupees 1. So rupees 1, what we will do, we will make a coin name array, name vector name coin, and we will insert 1 in it, right? We will move to the next index, 2. So 2 can be made in two ways. That means one, so we will use our coin change, that dp solve function will give us the number of ways in which we can make a 2 using the coin present. Coin present is coin array will have a 1 over here, right? So dp vector will return, if we had a, what will the dp return, right? I will show the recursive code, I have memoized it, I will show that as well. But what does the dp return over here? So dp returns the number of ways to make 2 using the coin 1 or the number of coins which you had, right? So it will simply return 1, right? And what we will check now, for this index we are checking this one coin change will return 1, right? And now what my 2 will return is, try to understand this, my answer over here is 2, right? Which is greater than what my dp would have returned, right? My dp would have returned a 1, right? And this is greater, right? And the difference should not exceed 1. Why difference should not exceed 1? See, if I am making using some coins and making a value, right? Let's say I was using coin ones, right? 1 coins. So for making a 2, you can only have one way, right? Either you can use all ones and make 2, right? But if it would have been 3 written over here, right? If the problem statement would have said, bhai 2 banane ke liye there are 3 ways, right? Now this is impossible, right? For us this is impossible because we can use 1 and from 1 we can make 2, right? In one ways, right? And there is no other way except for a 2 using itself to make a 2. So if the question says, bhai there are 3 ways, you will say no, that is a wrong answer, you return a empty bracket. So what I am saying is, if my 1 plus dp whatever it gave now, if your answer is greater than that, you will return a -1 or you will return a empty vector, right? Okay, so what here happened is, I said 2 which was greater than my dp vector, right, which is true. So I will say, in that case, if it is not greater than +1, if you added +1, and if it's not is equal to that value, you will understand the code. Don't worry if you are getting stuck over here. So if this value is greater than that, now you will simply, if is equal to that, means let's say dp returned a 1, so 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, yes. So in that case you will simply say, yes, coin 2 is also present in my answer, so we'll insert 2 in that as well, right? Okay, now we'll go to the next index 3, right? So it is saying there are 2 ways to make a 3. Okay, so what you will do, you will pass coin change function 1 and 2, and what is the sum is 3. So you will say, okay, I want the sum 3, what are the number of ways? It will simply return, like you can use 3 ones, right? And 2 you can use 1 and 2, and there are no more ways, right? Is there any other way which you can do? No. So that, what does this mean, right? This means that, okay, this will return, let me write it, either you can do a 1 1 1, right, or you can do a 1 and 2, right? No other ways, right? And so it will return a 2, right? There are 2 ways to make 3 using these, and your answer array had a 2. That, what does this mean? If there are 2 ways, you had already fulfilled it. That means 3 was not present in the array. Getting the idea of what we are trying to approach, right? Let's say we had 4, right? For 4, what is saying? 4, it is saying 3 ways, right? Let's see, what are my coins till now? 1 and 2, right? For 1 you can take 4 ones, right? For 2 you can take 2 2s, right? And you can take 1 1 and 2, right? And there is no other way. So what does this mean, right? What does this mean? You had 3 possible ways, right? And your answer and your coins means number of ways also is given 3. What does this mean? This means that 4 is also not present in the array. Okay, let's take the last one, which is 5. It says 4 ways to make a 5. So we are now on 5. And what are the coins? I had coins 1 and 2 only, right? So you can use 5 ones, right? 1 1 1 1 1 1, or you can use 3 ones, 1 1 1 2, or you can use single 1 and double 2, right? Or what you can use, what other ways? I guess there are no other ways, right? Only 3 ways you have got till now. right? Now when you see, it says why there are 4 ways. What does this mean? See, you returned a 3 over here. That function returned a 3. So 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. What does this mean? 5 is in your coin. In your coin, 5 will be there. Are you getting what I am saying? Right? So you will push 5 in your answer, and this is what your final answer array or coins array will look like. But we have checked, if 3 plus 1 is equal to 4, then that means that is in the array. What if they had said that 3 plus 1 equal to, let's say, just for example, 70 ways were there, let's say. So that is impossible, right? You will simply return an empty vector for that case, right? So I hope I was clear to make you understand what my intuition is. So that is what I am trying to do. So what I am doing is, if nums of ways, right? If nums of way is 0, nums of ways of 0 is equal to 1, that means 1 is present, right? 1 is present in my answer. So you'll simply push back coin dot push back 1, मतलब कि 1 मेरा कैंडिडेट है, 1 मेरा आंसर होगा, मैंने 1 को डाल दिया. So for I equal to 1 to n, amount is I plus 1, right? Now what we are doing is creating a dp vector, and number of ways is nums of ways. Nums of ways will give me number of ways, and value is count ways. We are calling our dp function to solve this, to give me, भाई मेरे को बता कितने ways हैं, to make 3 using the coins which we are having. So coin vector we are passing in it. Now if val is greater than ways, what is val? Val is the number of ways this count will return. Let's say मेरे को दिया कि भाई 5 ways हैं to create, let's say 7, मैंने ऐसे रैंडम नंबर लिया, राइट? एंड वेज जो मेरे क्वेश्चन में लिखा है, मेरा जो नम्स मेरे को यहाँ पे दिया है ना, मेरे को वी आर गिवन नम्स ओवर हियर, राइट? नम वेज. सो इफ नम वेज, लेट्स से इट वाज ओनली 2, सो दिस इज, व्हाट इज दिस? भाई दे आर, माय coin array is saying, bhai there are 7 ways to create, and you are saying only 2 ways. That is, you are giving me wrong information. I will return a empty vector, right? Now if ways is greater than val, that is the only way, right? Now what is, we have already checked, if val plus 1 is equal to ways, then only I will push I plus 1 in my coin array, or else simply return a empty vector, right? And return the coin array, right? Now let's see the dp part as well, so that you don't get confused while seeing the dp code. So what I am doing is, if amount is equal to 0, so I guess you know the dp. If you don't know, simply comment it. I will upload the dp explanation in other video as well, no worries for that, right? So let's say you said amount, you found amount equal to 0, you will return 1. So that is the one way to solve the given amount, that is the one way to get an answer, right? And if I equal to coin dot size, or if amount is less than 0, simply return a 0, that there is no way to get this coin, right? And what we are doing is, dp of I amount is not equal to -1, return dp of amount, and simply pick and not pick of dp, right? And we are returning this dp, right? And if you are picking, amount is reducing, so amount minus coins of I, and if you are not picking, you are just going to the next index. I hope this solution is clear. I am repeating myself. If you don't know the dp part, no worries, tell me in the comments. I will surely, if any single one of you also don't know that part, there is no need to shy. You will just comment in it. I will upload that video as well. So that is it for this video, I guess. If you have any doubt, if you don't understand any part, then simply comment. I will try to explain. Please do subscribe.